check, 1, 2.
Go! Curious about real estate? Yes! Then you've come to the right place. Get the knowledge you need, get over the fear, and get started. This is the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show with your host, Michael Quarles.
Hello, everybody. Michael Quarles with the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show, and welcome to podcast episode 307. Today we have 5 questions sent in, and remember, if you have a question, send it to support@michaelquarles.com. Before we get started, just wanted to shout out Merry Christmas to everybody. Hope you're enjoying your Christmas season. I know I am. I get to start my Christmas shopping. Today is the 12th, so tomorrow I get to start it on the 13th. I do 12 days before Christmas. So every day for 12 days prior to Christmas, I go out and I get to go shopping for my wife, and I buy her gifts that she indicated during the year that she wanted to have at Christmas. So I get a kick out of it. I enjoy it. So just let you know what I'm going to be doing. Here we go. Question number 1. Michael, have you ever made multiple offers, i.e. subject to seller financing cash, using the same contract? Actually, that's how my agreement started. That's why there's those 3 areas. So you can do sub 2, you can use it for seller financing, or of course, naturally, you can use it for cash or a combination of all of those. And I found in the beginning, it worked great. But what I evolved into is during the presentation now, I'm actually determining which vehicle satisfies everybody's need. My need, their need, creating that win-win situation. So now I know by the time I'm starting filling out the contract, I know if it's going to be a cash deal. I know if it's going to be cash and sub 2. I know if it's going to be sub 2 and seller financing, all sub 2 or all seller financing, maybe sub cash and seller financing. So, I know which combination of those. It could be all of them too. It could be a little bit of seller financing. It could be a little bit of sub 2, and it could be a little cash. So by the time I'm done with the negotiation, I know that prior to filling out the agreement. And I like having closure when I get to the agreement. I like knowing that I'm going to have this thing signed. Let's face it, in the beginning when I was doing it, I didn't know that until after I filled it out. And then sometimes none of the options worked for the folks. So you'll find that it's easier to negotiate it and then fill it out for the vehicle that you're going to use. Now, with all that said, there have been times, and it's a very good tool, to fill out the contract prior to yes, I'll sell it to you at this value. And you're using the contract as a character close because there's a lot of character closes within the agreement. And if you're a coaching student, we'd explain all those to you and how you explain the agreement that you're going to sign with the seller in a way that causes them to go, oh, wow, this guy is going to be ultra honest and ethical with me. And I have no problem agreeing to the price because of the things he's showing me, that she's showing me. So sometimes we'll use the contract as a character close because there's a lot of character to it. But good question. Question number 2. As far as a business entity, insurance, paperwork, phones, what is the bare minimum I need to get started wholesaling or wholetailing? I know you suggest getting a DBA. When you go to meet with the seller and actually sign the contract, to use your business name or your personal name. I have 1 rental and plan on adding more next year, but I assume that I will start at LLC when I get more rentals. Well, if you don't have an corp, so an S corp, C corp, and you don't have an LLC, anything that you would buy, you would be buying under your personal name. You could get under a trust, and we have those documents for all the coaching students. However, short of that, you're going to buy it. So instead of going, my DBA is Sunshine Properties, Michael Quarles doing business as Sunshine Properties, you're just going to buy it as Michael Quarles or your name. As far as bare bone minimum, what do you have to get started? Gosh, you got to have business cards. Okay, so $25, $30, you can get them at yellowletters.com. You got to have a polo shirt. I think you should wear you should be the billboard. You should be telling people what you do so they don't have to guess, they don't have to ask you. And if we have red polo shirts we wear, you can get them at the coaching center. I don't know if they're too much money, not enough money, I don't know. All I know is that first impressions is valuable, and showing up appropriately is valuable. So you got $25 there, you got $50 for a shirt, you got to have a clean vehicle, you have to have a cell phone, you know what those things cost, you have to insurance on the vehicle. Bare bone minimum, yeah, not too much, but you're going to be doing a lot of sweat equity. Now, what sweat equity is you doing something to create opportunity. And your best sweat equity, quite frankly, your best one is your center of influence, telling those people that you like, that love you, that know who you are, that you do what you do. And the conversation starts a little bit like this. And I'm gonna be role playing with myself and calling him Fred. So, hey, Fred, Michael Quarles, I just wanted to let you know, after careful consideration and a lot of thought, I've decided to start investing in real estate. And I knew that if you had the opportunity to help, you'd help. So if you happen to know anybody that's looking to buy or sell a property, think about me when you hear that conversation. Let me know about them. Let them know about me. And I appreciate it. And you're going to go through your cell phone and call all these people. You do that on a monthly basis. Everybody you meet, you start creating a center of influence marketing plan for them. And even if you had bucket loads of money to market with, that's how you do this. So go that direction. Bare bone minimum, couple $300. Yeah. I'm not afraid of not having money to be in business because I didn't have any money when I started. Look at me now. Drive a Rolls Royce. So everything's possible. You just have to want to get out of bed.
Thanks for listening. We'll be right back. Are you running out of leads? It's time you tried Yellow Letters at yellowletters.com. Get motivated seller leads through yellow letters, postcards, zip letters, typed professional letters, greeting cards, door hangers, and business cards. Yellow Letters is a full-service marketing company created with your success in mind. Get the personal attention you need to get your direct mail campaign started and get in touch at yellowletters.com.
And we are back in 3, 2, 1.
Question number 3. There's a lot of talk about having a physical address when you register a business name and need a mailing address. The thing I don't hear much about is having a registered agent. In my state, it only costs $49 to have a registered agent to receive my mail. Is that better than a P.O. box or a UPS store? $49 isn't going to kill anybody. Yeah, if you have $49 and you want to hire a registered person, that's fine. But being a registered person to receive a legal document on your behalf is different than just an address. If I didn't need that, if I didn't think that was a worthy expenditure for $49, I'd just go down and get me an address. Before I'm going to tell you what I like, here are the types of addresses you could have. You have a P.O. box address, so post office box, whatever it is, this zip code, that kind of thing. You could have a UPS store or a Gone Postal or a Print Centers store, or what have you, where they have mailboxes in them. You could have your own personal house. You can use your own personal address. You can use an address where you work, or you can go rent an address from a professional, what they call executive office. So, and I like that one the best. So the ones, I'm going to do them now in what I like the best and all the way to the ones I don't like at all. I like the executive office the best. I like the UPS store the second best. Post office P.O. box the third. Where I work fourth, yuck, don't ever use that one. And absolutely don't ever use your personal address. But I like the executive office thing. Here's what comes with it. You get the address. You get a place to call home in those events when your seller wants to meet you. So yeah, you can get your mail there and all that kind of good stuff. But if you have to maybe you meet the seller and they go, yeah, I want to meet you. I don't want to do it virtually. I want to meet you. Great. But it's a rental, so we can't meet over there. So you say, hey, just come down to my office. My office is at 123 Main Street. Let's do that at 11 o'clock. So you go down to this executive suite. They know you because, you've met them before and that there's a lady behind or a guy behind the counter to welcome your customer. There's a conference room and a lobby and a coffee pot and a copy machine. It looks like a business. And you go in there and at 11 o'clock, you have this, you've rented a little room. And you use that little room to meet your sellers. It looks professional to your seller. No one's any wiser that it's just a temporary kind of thing. But man, they'll have notary services, they'll have telephone kind of things for faxes if you need to do that. It's that executive look. Now, the UPS store, the second best, they have notary typically. You're not going to go meet someone there. It's not that kind of a facility where the executive is. And the cost difference, one's probably $30 a quarter or $30 a month or whatever they charge, and the other's a couple $100 a month. And I think that couple $100 a month goes a long way, so I like that one. If you go to the P.O. box setup, use the post office box's address. They all have an address, but they utilize the P.O. box. So remove the P.O. box, and if their address is 27 Post Office Way, 27 Post Office Way, number, whatever your box number is. Now, you want to get the permission and let the postal person know that that's how you're going to receive your mail so that they don't object too heavily. But I know that they'll allow you to do that. Question number 4. When marketing, is it better to do cluster marketing in 1 or 2 nearby zip codes or spread marketing dollars over a wide geographic area? I like cluster marketing, and I like to make sure that when you do the marketing algorithm that all of our coaching students go through, we kind of pinpoint the better market. So typically the better markets are going to huddle together. So you're typically you're not going to have one zip code that's like wins, that's the best zip code, and the second best is across town. They're going to huddle together. But in the instant that they're across town, if the one that came in third was huddled against the one that came in first, I would do 1 and 3 because I would want them in close proximity. Because let's face it, in some cities, cross town's a long way. Some cities, it's not a long way, but in a lot of cities, it's a long way. So we want infrastructure, once. We don't want to have it twice. And what I mean by that is, your closing companies, your inspectors, your appraisers, your contractors, your realtors, all those folks, when you are in a big city, you'll have to have multiple of those because they're so wide spread out and kind of thing because the city's so big. But if you can keep the zip codes close to each other, then you only need one set of those. So it's better for you. So cluster marketing is what we're doing is we're mailing the same prospect multiple types of mail because we know that some people like blue jeans and some people like khakis and some people like suit pants. And if we only mailed to the blue jean pant person, then the other two types of people would never respond to it. So cluster marketing, we're marketing to all types of people. It works well. And cluster marketing's been around forever. That's why they put McDonald's and Taco Bells together. It's why they put auto malls together. That's why they put clothing stores together in a mall. That's all cluster marketing, gas stations, catty corner kind of thing. Use it in your marketing. We'll explain all that in the coaching program. Question number 5. When using the 2-part seller script and the potential seller says the property is worth $200,000, but you can see on Zillow that it's only worth $180. Do you start at 85% negotiation from $200 or $180? It's always the $200. And I'm never looking at Zillow before I have that conversation, so I have no clue what Zillow says. So the seller says, my house is worth $200. They know their house better than Zillow does, and I can only assume they're being honest with me. Now, I'll find out if they're not being honest with me, but in the beginning, I can only assume that they are. So since they know more about their house than anyone does, then I'm going to take their opinion because I can negotiate with their opinion. I can't negotiate with Zillow. I can't call Zillow up and say, hey, Mr. Zillow, you said, and it's not. Zillow's not going to do that with me. But the seller will. Because now the seller, if I come back and I get my appraisal and it's only worth $175, but they said $200, then I could say it doesn't appear as though when we originally answered the question, what do you think an appraiser would appraise the house for if I sent out on a professional appraisal? And you said 200, doesn't appear as though that appraiser was correct. So I know that they said the answer, but I'm using third person. So a scapegoat kind of thing in there. And so I can negotiate the seller's numbers. I can't negotiate Zillow's numbers. Hope that makes sense, but we kind of explain all that stuff in the coaching program. Thanks so much, guys and gals, for sending in the questions. And remember, if you need a coach, you want to learn real estate investing the way that I do it, and you want a really big discount, call the office up, say that you heard me on a podcast and that I said to say Santa. If you told them, if you use the word Santa, now I like Merry Christmas. I'm not going to say Happy Holiday. And if I offended you, I couldn't be your coach because I would just offend you all the time. But if you're okay with Merry Christmas, if you're okay with a handshake and good old honest conversation, then call up, say Mike said Santa. If you're wanting to get in the coaching program, that'll be worth the effort, the conversation. Thanks so much. Until next time, bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to the Michael Quarles Real Estate Show. Get more info and stay in touch at michaelquarles.com.